Hey everyone, it's Cater Talks a Lot. Before we dive into today's video, I need to give a quick warning. This video will contain graphic footage of horse injuries. If you do not want to see that, please feel free to click away. You can also check out the links in the description to learn more without the graphic visuals. I need to apologize for my inconsistent posting schedule. Also, the audio may be a little rough around the edges. I am doing the best I can without a mic. Thank you so much.
Rescue me, I rescue you. A love so pure, it cuts right through. Healing hearts in a world so blue. Rescue me, I rescue you.
Today we are diving into horse racing, a very highly controversial topic in the equine world, one I am very passionate about. This video will be a bit longer because I am going in depth on some important statistics. My opinion on horse racing is simple. It's abuse. I will be deep diving into this topic. The footage is graphic. I believe it is important to showcase the reality so you can truly understand the harm this industry inflicts on these animals. Let me give a quick shout out to the YouTube channel Horse Racing Kills. You provided a lot of this footage and you are linked below. The video I am about to show you is what forever changed my view on the horse racing industry. When we look at the Mid-Atlantic strategic plan to reduce equine fatalities, it is impossible to deny that horse racing is abuse. Horses start racing at just 2 years old. They are still babies, but the industry pushes them early because by the time they are 3 or 4, their risk of dying from injuries skyrocket. 28% higher for 3-year-olds and 41% higher for 4-year-olds. If a horse takes more than 60 days off to recover from an injury, their chances of dying go up another 9%. Horses in claiming races where they can literally be bought or sold mid-race are 33% more likely to die. Males are 24% more likely to die than females, and horses racing on dirt tracks, the most common type of track, are 109% more likely to die than those on safer synthetic surfaces. Even after being cleared by a vet, a horse's risk of fatal injuries stay permanently higher. All of this shows one thing. These animals are being used, pushed past their limits, and discarded when they break. That's not a sport, that's abuse. This study looked at how often young racehorses in Australia got injured. Out of just 248 horses, there were 428 injuries recorded. That means almost every single horse got hurt, and some got hurt more than once. The study found that 2-year-old horses were nearly 3 times more likely to suffer painful musculoskeletal injuries than 3-year-olds. Even worse, only about half of the injured horses recovered enough to race again within 6 months. And recovery here does not mean they were pain-free. They were just pushed back out onto the track. The researchers even said that the speed they were forced to run before injury affected how well they could heal, meaning the faster and harder they were pushed, the more their bodies broke down. What most people do not realize is we actually have no full picture of how many horses die in the racing industry, because most of the deaths happen during training, and those are not always reported. The official numbers only count what happens during races, not the endless workouts that happen behind closed gates. The U.S. Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority reported 1.24 deaths per 1,000 race starts in 2025, but they also found 0.52 deaths per 1,000 workouts during training. That might sound small, but when you realize thousands of horses train every day, it adds up fast. ESPN estimated that around 850 racehorses died in 2024 from racing or training incidents, and even that number doesn't include many training deaths at the private facilities that never make it to public records. In Australia, at least 174 horses died last year from racing or training injuries, and animal welfare groups say the real number is likely much higher. Next, I want to give a quick shout out to Horse Racing Wrongs. Their website is linked below. Please check them out and consider donating if you can. What you are seeing on screen right now is their list of known racing deaths from 2024. And I want to be very clear, this list only includes the deaths that were willingly reported to them. They don't have access to every single case because many facilities are not required to and often refuse to release information about horse injuries or deaths. So, what you are seeing here is just a glimpse of the real numbers. Pause at any point and read through some of the names. And if you made it this far in the video, please leave a comment and name one of these horses and their cause of death. This will simply just keep their memory alive. Now, here's the shocking part 2024 was actually considered a year with significantly fewer injuries and deaths. Professor Tim Parkin, after reviewing the equine injury database, said, quote, "It is remarkable and indeed gratifying to see the sustained improvement in these figures. It is credit to all involved in the industry that such a significant improvement in the risk of fatal injury can be achieved." End quote. But remember, these stats only represent what's been reported, not what happens behind the scenes. Now, let's talk about excessive whipping. The sad reality is that whipping has been proven to do absolutely nothing to make a horse run faster. In fact, a 2011 study by Dr. D. Evans published in PLOS1 titled An Investigation of Racing Performance and Whip Use found no evidence that whipping increases a horse's chance of finishing in the top three. The researchers concluded that whipping does not improve performance or race outcomes in any meaningful way. So when you see a jockey hitting a horse, it is not about helping them win, it's about control, fear, and pressure.
Yeah, Tessa Trevor. Today, the New Mexico Racing Commission confirmed that 12 horses across multiple races during that race weekend tested positive for an illegal drug. And that leaves the question, who is taking home those millions of dollars up for prize money?
I simply love the fact that they care more about prize money than the effects on the horses. Let's not pretend drugging in the racing industry does not happen. The saddest thing is after years of being worn down, drugged, and abused, these horses are not guaranteed a home. It breaks my heart. The Jockey Club has stated, though much progress has been made in the area of thoroughbred aftercare, we continue to see thoroughbreds at low-end auctions, in kill pens, and in cruelty or neglect situations. If you do not know how detrimental horse auctions are and the crimes going on behind the scenes, I encourage you watch the video called The Criminal Reality of the Horse Slaughter Pipeline by Horse Plus Humane Society. It will be linked below. And finally, horse racing isn't really about showcasing talent or partnership like other equine sports. It's an industry built on gambling and entertainment, a place where people spend their days drinking and betting money on the suffering of animals. I don't even need to pull up studies to explain how damaging and addictive that behavior can be. That wraps up today's video. I know it was a very heavy topic, and some of the footage was very hard to watch, but I hope it inspires you to do your own research on equine sports. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching, and give your pets a pet and a treat from me.